Cannon, gang, gang.
You're now listening to the sound of perfection.
Hello, I'm Saadiq Larue. I'm the author of Guilty Pleasures of Reverend such and such. I was born and raised in Shreveport, Louisiana, in what you call the Cooper Road area. I went to Northwood High School and I played basketball there. I was well known around the city, and the same thing at Northwestern State University in Natchitoches. I fell in love with writing around age 12 in the 7th grade. I had a creative writing assignment from my English teacher in which she told us to write about things that we did not like about her, and I went in. The next day I got called out into the hallway and she told me that I had a talent, but she said that I was pretty abrasive with the words that I used in describing my issues with her. So throughout life I use writing as a freedom just to get away. Like when my dad would piss me off, of course I couldn't say anything back to him because I get my ass whooped, but I turned to writing and I write out all of my frustrations, and the same things with life. Things that I go through, things that I see my friends and family go through. I take my pen and I put it to paper and I turn it into a story. I am the oldest of 3 girls, and I would say that I'm pretty much the most outgoing one. I have 2 sisters. Tangela is the one that's next to me, and Jamie is the baby. Jamie is the one that is spoiled, but I love her to death because she got me in trouble a lot when we were growing up, but anytime I have an idea or any type of ambition, she's my support. She pushes me. She was actually the one who encouraged me to actually publish my first book, but she's been my backbone through a lot of different situations in life. My other sister, her name is Tangela. She's extremely headstrong. If I have a problem, she's the one that I take it to, because if I need to scrap with somebody, I know she got my back. I am a deacon's kid, which is just as bad as preacher's kids. My dad passed away when I was in college and I was 21. So I've been pretty close to my mom my whole life. I have 2 daughters of my own, Cameron and Kennedy. My husband is LaCedric Shaw. He's very supportive in what I do. Growing up in Shreveport, my family, as far as my immediate family, with my mom and dad and my sisters, we actually lived in North Shreveport, which is closer to like the Blanchard area. But both sets of my grandparents actually lived on the Cooper Road. So I kind of lived both sides of life. You know, the Cooper Road is considered to be this hard gang banging type area, which to me, growing up there, it was not. We have problems on Cooper Road just like you have problems everywhere else. I love Louisiana. I love the Creole culture. I love the food. I live in Dallas, Texas now, but I go back to Louisiana at least twice a month. It's for the food, but it's also for my family. There's no place on earth like Louisiana. I chose Louisiana to be the setting for my book. The nightlife there is crazy. I've been able to travel all over the world, and there's no place like Louisiana. And not even just New Orleans, just Louisiana in general. The Guilty Pleasures of Reverend such and such is a book that I decided to write because I had this story just bottled up inside of me. It's about things that I went through, things that my teammates and some of my best friends went through, as well as one of my cousins. The stories in the book are true, but I just changed up the names to protect my pockets. I don't need nobody dragging me to court. The main characters in the story are Antoinette, Reggie, and Patrick. Antoinette is a basketball player. She's a spoiled kid, definitely. She wasn't exactly rich, but her family was well off. She can have a bad attitude from time to time. She deals with things in her own way. Sometimes she does piss other people off, but she definitely gets her point across. She's the type of girl that she knows exactly what she wants, and she's not gonna take shit from anyone. Reggie is from the other side of the track. He did not grow up rich. His family was on the poor side. He found football to be a way to help get him out of the hood. He takes his opportunity and he turns it into a professional career. He's the kind of person that fame goes to his head. He starts to meet all these different women, and he begins to cheat on his girlfriend, and he does become somewhat arrogant. Patrick, on the other hand, is more of a pretty boy, very suave. He's a ladies' man. He tells you exactly what you want to hear, when you want to hear it, and he does that to get what he wants. He doesn't stay in a relationship with a woman very long, but he hates to be rejected. He's also a basketball player. He has gone professional, so he has access to a lot of money, but he also has some secrets. He has a wife and a child, and he has them stashed away in another country so that when he comes to the United States, he can do what he wants to do when he wants to do it. At some point, Tony becomes involved with this pastor who she thinks is just the best thing since sliced bread. He's charming. He can hang the hell out of a suit. He can preach. He's a nice guy, and when he walks into the room, he owns it. But later on, she finds out that he has some secrets, and she thought that he was actually going to be her husband because he proposed to her in front of her family on a holiday. It's definitely a dramatic story, but it's also a story of comedy. It's a story of love. Anybody, man or woman, who's ever had feelings for anybody, ever gone through anything, you can definitely relate to this story on some level. If you ever had your heart broken, if you ever had a person that you thought the world of, they just made you feel like you were walking on air when you were around them or when you thought about them, this is definitely a story that you will take interest in. For myself, I have recently been approached by a publishing company. I have been offered another book deal. So in the next year, you will see a sequel to The Guilty Pleasures of Reverend such and such. I am also interested in trying to turn the first book, The Guilty Pleasures of Reverend such and such, into a movie. So wish me luck on that. You can follow me on Twitter at Saadiq Larue, that's Saadiq Larue, Larue. My email address is saadiq.larue@gmail.com. I plan to do some book signings in the near future, and I do plan on taking my books to the Essence Music Festival in New Orleans, Louisiana next summer. So if you would like to meet and greet me, be on the lookout. I'm coming to a city near you.